Hello, and welcome to episode 36 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. My name is Mikaylee. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting, my crocheting, and my yarn dyeing. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. If you're new here, welcome! Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like my channel, please give it a subscribe and a thumbs up on any of my videos. It really helps me out. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. So today, I have 2 finished objects and I only have 1 whip. Isn't that crazy? I only have 1 whip. I can't believe it. I legit can't believe it. It happens every once in a while where I have 1 whip or I have no whips. And then it's just like such a weird feeling where I'm like, what do I do? I need to start something. So I thought I'd be all dramatic about it. I only have 1 whip. Anyways, okay, let's just jump right into the yarn stuff. So I have 2 finished objects. I have a couple of, I have 1 whip, like I said. I have a couple of acquisitions. I have a very special FO in front of me that I'll show you. And I have a couple of finished objects from the community to share. So let's go. The first finished object are my Railyard Socks. I knit these as a test knit. You could really not see them on my black t-shirt. That is not great, sorry. Let's see if that's not gonna work though, because it wants to see my face. Okay. These are my Railyard Socks. This is a pattern by Lauren of Granite State Yarns. And it's a ribbed sock on the leg all the way around, and then just on the front of the sock, it's ribbed. And then I did a slip stitch heel flap. Heel turn gusset like normal. I knit the size large for my husband. This was the first time knitting socks for my hubby, and also it's my first time knitting a large size sock. And 72 stitches doesn't sound like much more than 64 when I knit mediums for myself, but it does take a little bit longer for sure. Like every single round obviously takes longer. And then also on top of that, my husband wears a size 12.5 men's shoe. So it's quite long in the foot. Luckily they were shorties, so I didn't have to knit too high on the leg, and also he probably wouldn't wear that. And he also always just wants black stuff. So this is my Jane Margolis colorway. It's a very saturated black. And Jane Margolis is a character in Breaking Bad. So that's my first finished object. Now I can give these to him. I finished them and I told them, hey, I finished your socks. But can I keep them until I record on Saturday? And of course he's like, oh, of course, babe, there is no rush on those. Like, he honestly wouldn't even mind if I never knit him socks. Yeah, he's really supportive and sweet. Okay, so I have another finished object, and you can probably guess what it is. And it says a little bit harder of a time fitting on my sock blockers. But I finished my Saul Goodman socks in the Saul Goodman colorway that is coming soon. I hope to have this released along with the pattern by July 11th, I believe. So I have 1 month. Oh, I have a month. Okay, let me make sure that's right. But I'm pretty sure July 11th. Yes. So July 11th is a Monday, and that is when the second half of the final season of Better Call Saul starts. And so I figured that would be a great time to debut the yarn and the pattern. And this is a very simple broken ribbed pattern. I explained it last episode that Saul in Breaking Bad and in Better Call Saul, I think he really tries to play straight. He wants to be a good lawyer. You know, he wanted to follow in his brother's footsteps, and you know, there's a whole issue around that, but which I won't get into. But he just kind of always had this, I don't know what it is, like a mixed up nature or something. Like he always kind of wanted to do like the thrill of like scandals and the thrill of like, you know, I don't know, just like setting people up. And he always was just kind of a dirty lawyer a little bit, or like not a dirty lawyer, I don't want to say it like that, but like getting mixed up with criminals, and which kind of unintentionally happened in Better Call Saul. I won't spoil that either. Kind of in this final season, we're seeing his transition into Breaking Bad. Like, how did he become this lawyer for these criminals? And so we kind of see that transition. But he's always kind of had that nature of like the thrill of, what is that word? I'm like missing that word. Like a scheme. He's really into like scheming and just like tricking people. I don't like, the word that I'm looking for is escaping me, but it doesn't matter. So it's a broken rib because I think he tries to be like a good straight lawyer, and he's just not, and it just kind of ends up being a little bumpy. So I did a very softly broken rib for him, and it goes all the way around to the leg, and then all the way on the top of the foot, and the bottom of the foot is just plain stockinette. But this colorway is so fun. It's half black, half silver. And then on the silver part, I did all different colored speckles. Well, I did 5 different colors of speckles. And so one of the things I love about yarn dyeing is seeing colors break and mix and turn into something else. And that's what happens with these. Like, since I did so many different colors, so many primary colors of speckles, they ended up creating like other colors that I didn't even put in there, like orange and like a, I just love it so much. But it's definitely colorful but not colorful, and the colors represent all of the ties that Saul wears in the show. Like, he will normally wear like a black or a silver suit, so that's where I got the 2 base colors from. And then he always wears like a crazy multicolored, multi-patterned tie. So that's where the inspiration for that colorway came. And since I just finished the sock, I just need to get the pattern written up, and then I will be ready for testers. So if you want to test knit this pattern for me, make sure you are subscribed to my email newsletter. That's where I put out my testing calls first. And luckily, every time I've done it, I've filled up just from the email. And so I don't even need to like post on Instagram or anywhere else that I'm looking for testers. So if you want to test, that's the best chance that you have of getting into my testing group. I forgot to mention that this heel is a new heel that I've never done before. It's called the half linen stitch heel. And I actually filmed an entire tutorial about how to knit this heel. And once the pattern is out, I will release that tutorial as well. So anybody who is knitting socks can try out this heel, even if it's not in the Saul Goodman sock pattern. So those are my two whips, or no, my two FOs, my two finished objects. Sorry. I have one whip, and I know you've seen it. Oopsies, that's not good. Eek. My needles, my extra needles were going inside of my brioche and they kind of snagged it a bit. So how I fix that is just by like stretching it out in all directions, and I'll kind of get that to go back down to where it was. See, all good. Okay, all good. So this is in a better place. I made sure that I wasn't in the middle of a row for me to show you. This is my mist tee, and I did the brioche portion is done, and that was done in the round. So I have half my stitches waiting for me. The other half of my stitches are right here, and I'm getting close, depending on how, I'm getting close to having the top portion done too. But this is garter stripes at the top. And I put my marker there. That's approximately where I was last episode. So I didn't make tons of progress, but a little bit. It's still progress. You know, every stitch counts. And my mom used to always say, how do you eat an elephant? And she would say that when I would get overwhelmed with school, or you know, I had a lot of things to do. I worked full-time and did school full-time. So sometimes I would get a little overwhelmed and stressed out with like how much homework I had in my classes, and I was tired and I was still working full-time. So she would always say, how do you eat an elephant? And it was always one bite at a time. So I would translate that a lot to knitting also, because like, how do you knit the top one stitch at a time? And so even if you just get in a few stitches here and there, you're still making progress, and eventually it'll still get done. You're still getting closer to your goal, etc., etc. So this is the mist tee. I'm not sure if I said that. Sorry. This is the mist tee, and this is a pattern by Lesley Ann Robinson, and it's in her brioche book that I have linked down below in the description. And I am using Lily of the Valley in sock fingering and Breaking Delphinium in sock fingering, and these are both from my shop. And I love the combination. It's like so pretty in the brioche, and then even in the garter stitches. I love the stripes. I love how it's pooling a little bit. It's so fun. So fun. So that's my only whip. I do have one future whip that I will show you. I am hosting a Holly White KAL right now. It's for the Holly White Socks pattern, and it goes until the end of June. So there's still plenty of time to get in on that. You can post your finished object of your Holly White socks on Ravelry in the FO thread, or you could do both. You could also post it on Instagram using the hashtag HollyWhiteKAL, and I will be choosing winners from both places, and the prizes are $25 gift cards to Breaking Yarn. So there's still plenty of time to get in on that, and you can double dip. So if you are already participating in summer sock camp with Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady, then you can double dip for her knit along as well, since hers is just any socks. And it doesn't matter the pattern. Oh, and one other thing, if you use yarn from my shop, then you can enter your FO twice on Ravelry, and on Instagram, I'll make sure it counts for 2 entries. So I have this in my chemistry bag from Danielle of Midwest Stitches that she made for my shop. I do have a few left, 3 left of this size, which is the medium 2 skein size. I could fit 2 100 gram skeins in here. But I decided to use this one today, and this is yarn from Zebra Yarn. Anna, she sent this for me for my birthday because she knows that my favorite color is mint. And so she dyed this up special for me for my birthday. So it's mint and gray. How perfect is that? Here's her shop, Zebra Yarns. And I'll link her shop down below. But I'm going to use this with my fixed 9-inch circulars. I use a 1.5 for mine. I don't know, where does it say? Oh, here. Yeah, 1.5, and then it's 2.5 millimeters. I use this size for my socks, and with my gauge, I'm a pretty tight knitter. So I'm gonna knit the Holly White socks with this yarn. I will probably get that started today. So I will have 2 whips after this, but right now I only have 1, but a future whip. Okay, so I have a very special finished object in front of me that I can't wait to share with you. This is my Lines and Vines shawl, knit by Krista of Explore with Knitsy. I can't even like, 1, believe this color combination, and 2, believe that I have a knitted piece from Krista. I was kind of like gushing. Like the more I think about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Okay, so this color combination is Jane Margolis, which is the black, and then the purple and pink is Breaking Princess, and it's stripes all throughout, and then the brioche vines are at the bottom. This is my Lines and Vines shawl pattern, and she has a class for this pattern right now in her Learn with Knitsy Academy. I shouldn't say right now because it's always going to be there actually. So the Lines and Vines shawl is available on her website, the Learn with Knitsy Academy. I will put, let me move this. I will put a link down in the description box for that class, and also for her entire Learn with Knitsy Academy. You can get the entire academy for 1 low price, and she's always adding new classes and new patterns to that. She literally walks you through every step of the pattern. So if you want to learn how to knit brioche, that is a great way to start. And this just takes 2 skeins of my Swish DK base. So for fairly low cost, you can get the yarn that you need for the project, and then also the class comes with the pattern, so that's already covered. And then you can learn how to make this. So yes, I'm so excited. She shows this in her class. This is not the one she uses as the knitting example, but it's one that she shows. She used this one to knit to decide, like, to understand like how to do the pattern, and then so that she could teach it. But yeah, I'm super thrilled to have a knitted piece by Krista. Explore with Knitsy. I am still kind of gushing about that. And yeah, it's so cute. It's so cute. And I love this color combination too. It's so fun, like so fun. Okay, so I have 2 finished objects from the community and my acquisitions. So let me just start with my acquisitions real fast. I got carjacked from the Crazy Sock Ladies update for summer sock camp. I was trying to get a few different things I had my eye on. The Pretty Twisted self-striping yarn from Pretty Twisted Yarns, and then vintage camper from Leap of Faith Yarns, and the snap bag from Danielle, and or the sock bag from Jenny of Mountain State Stitches. I kind of had my eyes on those types of things, and I was gonna get vintage camper from Leap of Faith Yarns. I was checking out, and I had grabbed another skein of something else from Pretty Twisted Yarns, I think because the self-striping was already gone. But I was like, oh, I'll just get this. And while I was checking out, I literally hit submit for my payment, and it was like, oh, this item is no longer available. So that was pretty disappointing, but I decided, well, I'll just get something straight from Christy's shop instead. And so I went to Leap of Faith Yarns on Etsy, and I picked up this colorway, and it's called Mermaid Magic. And of course I loved all the blues and the pinks and the purples, and then this really pretty like sage green. So I picked up a skein of that straight from her shop. And then I was talking to Asia of Yarn Fixation. She had commented about my shipping map that I have of the US, and I've gotten to mark off a few states recently. I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states left. So if you're in Alaska, Hawaii, Nevada, Montana, North Dakota, or Vermont, and you order from my shop and you're the first one in any of those states to order from my shop, I will send you extra goodies. Okay, so we were talking about that, and she was like, oh, I have one too. And I was like, well, do you already have New Mexico marked off? And she said no. So I placed an order in her shop. She has an Etsy shop for stitch markers, and those so cute. Her packaging is so cute. It was like, let me see if I can even, it was probably folded up better than that. It was like a little fan, like a circle. I don't know how she did that, but it came like that with her little sticker that says Yarn Fixation on it. It's so cute. And then I think she must like cut this paper and then like do like little hole punches and put them through there. But isn't that so cute? So there's a big stitch marker and then 4 small ones, and these are hand painted, guys. She hand paints them and then puts them in these little like globe, like what do they call these, Ichiban or something? I know that's not right, Kokoban or something, I don't know, something like that. But she puts them in these little globe charm type things, and then she has these circle stitch markers. So I'm excited to try these out on my knitting. See, they're little circles. I don't know if you can see that. They're little circles, but I just thought they were so cute, and I was her first order in New Mexico, so that was exciting for me to be able to help her out in that way and get some adorable stitch markers. Ooh, they match my yarn really well. Yeah. Okay. I have 2 FOs from the community to share with you. The first one is the Emmalyn Shawl. This was knit by Anna of Zebra Yarns. She knit this out of Lily of the Valley, and gray matter in my quarter round fingering base, which is 100% superwash merino. And the pattern is by Charlotte of Charknit, and it was called Emmalyn Shawl. And I had a few of these kits available in my shop a little while back, and with the kit you got the yarn and the pattern, all just for the cost of the yarn. So that was really sweet of Charlotte to allow me to put together kits for that. And Anna, thank you so much for allowing me to share your shawl with the community. I love it. I love the gray and the white. It's so cute. My second FO from the community to share is the Icinkles sock. I know I'm gonna say that wrong. It looks like icicles, but it's Icinkles with an N and a K. Icinkles Socks. Oh, I forgot to see who the pattern was by, but these were knit by Cottagewitch.knits. This is Lucy on Instagram, and she knit these in Walter White and Heisenberg, and I love how those turned out. So those are so cute. I love how the green from Walter White fades into the Heisenberg, and then it's just Heisenberg at the bottom, but it also kind of represents his transformation from Walter White to Heisenberg, and like just progressively gets a little darker. So I love how Lucy did that, and I thought that was so smart, and it actually looks super cute together. So thank you to Lucy for allowing me to share your socks on my podcast. And the last thing is that I'm getting very close to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, and as soon as I do that, or as soon as I get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do a very big giveaway here on YouTube. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out. And as soon as I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will do a big giveaway. It will be worth it. It will be so fun. Maybe I'll do lots of like little giveaways too, and then like a grand prize. That would be fun, huh? Anyways, thank you so much for joining me for episode 36 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day and a blessed week.